In the dead of night, the ocean glows with a cold metallic shimmer, yet no sailor stands on deck. No commands, no voices, only silent machines patrolling under coded orders. The world's navies are shifting course, entering an era where wars are fought not with binoculars or compasses, but with algorithms and electric pulses. Three kinds of machines now rule the seas: UAVs that soar and refuel, USVs that slice through waves, and UUVs that vanish into the deep. Together, they form an invisible army, vigilant, tireless, and precise. For 720 hours, they can guard without sleep. But beyond this technological brilliance lies one haunting question. Who truly commands them? The human hand or the artificial mind? Tonight, the world's navies are quietly turning their rudders toward a new horizon. Gone are the crowded decks, the roar of destroyer engines, and the silhouettes of massive carriers. A new chapter has begun, an ocean battlefield ruled by machines without crews, operating day and night across the waves. This shift is not a fad, but a survival instinct. Nearshore combat zones have become deadly traps, filled with radar, anti-ship missiles, and electronic warfare. Sending humans into that storm grows riskier each year. The data is clear. Drones fight longer, cost less, and save lives. Three technological pillars now anchor this revolution. In the skies, UAVs refuel fighters and scout far ahead. On the surface, USVs hunt submarines and patrol for days without pause. Deep below, UUVs roam the dark abyss, carrying payloads and laying sensors that redraw the map of the sea. Together, they weave an ecosystem, a living digital organism that senses, reacts, and learns. At dawn, a UAV launches from a carrier. It is not just a scout, but a lifeline, keeping strike jets airborne and relaying satellite feeds to command. Beneath, a trimaran USV cuts through 10-foot waves, its sonar painting the seabed. 3,000 meters below, a UUV deploys beacons that mark secret routes for submarines. Yet beneath this sleek choreography lies chaos. These fleets must survive jamming, cyber attacks, and the fog of war. A single algorithmic error can mistake a fishing boat for an enemy. That is why human in the loop remains law. AI suggests, but humans decide. By noon, the digital battle heats up. USVs cast radar traps, tricking enemy systems into revealing their positions. Micro UAVs widen the surveillance dome, scanning every cove and port. Inside command, GPS cuts out, and the fleet switches to inertial and magnetic navigation. As the sun sets, ethics and strategy collide. Should machines have the right to pull the trigger? Should nations entrust life and death choices to lines of code? The debate is as fierce as any battle. But as one admiral said, the safest war is one that keeps humans out of harm's way. At dusk, the test continues. USVs and UAVs form a fog of motion, observing, warning, shadowing intruders with radar pings just bright enough to be noticed. Below, UUVs drop passive buoys to form an acoustic fence. If tensions cool, the swarm recedes. If they rise, the human command still holds the final word. When night falls, the endurance clock ticks past hour 513. A USV detects shaft vibration. Predictive maintenance schedules a repair. A UUV finds a warm current, feeding data into tomorrow's map. The commander exhales. Tomorrow's victory, it seems, is already being coded tonight. Modern warfare is no longer a duel of steel and fire. It is a contest of algorithms, data, and artificial intelligence. The heart of the unmanned revolution lies not in hulls or propellers, but in the code that drives them. In command centers, thousands of data streams flow in from drones above, vessels at sea, and subs beneath. The AI must sort and decide faster than any human mind. It must learn enemy behavior, detect patterns, and predict danger, all in real time. But even perfection can fail. A misread echo, a false coordinate, one corrupted signal, and an entire mission collapses. That is why humans remain the final safeguard. The new arms race is not about building bigger ships, but updating faster software. Traditional warships evolve in decades. AI fleets evolve in months. The side that masters the update pipeline, code, test, deploy, will command the oceans. A sudden GPS blackout hits one fleet. Within seconds, the AI shifts to magnetic and inertial tracking, holding course flawlessly. Above, a UAV reroutes via satellite backup. Below, a UUV navigates by the magnetic fingerprints of the seafloor it memorized weeks earlier. The swarm adapts faster than any human fleet could, but this power raises moral questions. If an autonomous vessel fires in error, who bears the blame? Can a hacker turn a robotic fleet into a rogue weapon? Lawmakers struggle to keep pace as technology outgrows the rulebook. Money, too, reshapes the battlefield. One carrier may cost $15 billion, while hundreds of drones cost less than a single jet squadron. Yet they require ports, chargers, and armies of data engineers. The old question, how many ships do we need, is being replaced by a new one. How many algorithms can we sustain? This is the birth of maritime software supremacy, the belief that whoever writes the best code wins the sea. Updates now matter more than armor. Bandwidth replaces firepower. Each new version can change the tide of battle before a single shot is fired. And so, after 720 hours, a silent test concludes. One USV reports damage, one UUV discovers a new current. The AI updates itself overnight. In the command room, engineers watch in awe, knowing that each line of code now carries the weight of strategy, ethics, and survival. Tomorrow, the waves will look calm, but beneath, the real war will be fought by those who code the ocean. Every dawn, the steel creatures awaken again. No bugle, no salute, just encrypted signals pulsing through the mist. UAVs lift into the clouds, USVs patrol the waves, and UUVs dive into the dark. The ocean has become a living network, a breathing organism made of sensors and circuits. These systems have transformed warfare. One UAV can scout hundreds of miles, one USV can patrol for a week without rest, one UUV can map the unseen world beneath. Together, they form an invisible wall of vigilance. But this is more than technology. It is philosophy. Victory is no longer about bigger guns, but better data. Strategy itself is evolving from instinct to prediction. Machines see what humans cannot, think faster than admirals, and never tire. Yet the more intelligent the fleet becomes, the more humans risk fading from command. Pilots replaced by autopilots, sonar operators replaced by AI analysis, admirals commanding from virtual maps thousands of miles away. The gain is efficiency, the loss is presence. War becomes colder, cleaner, and far more detached. Ethics follow close behind. Can machines understand mercy? Can a drone distinguish a fishing boat from a threat in a storm? Each era reminds us, technology needs humanity as much as humanity now depends on technology. Beyond ethics lies politics. What happens when a USV drifts into another nation's waters? When a UUV records data near foreign cables? The world needs a new maritime code, Law of the Sea 2.0, to govern invisible wars fought by silent machines. Without it, the oceans could become a chessboard of shadows. Still, one truth remains. The revolution has already begun. Every test, every software patch, every drone sortie pushes humankind deeper into the unmanned era. The ocean remains vast and blue, but beneath the waves, thousands of mechanical minds are already awake, learning, guarding, evolving. Night falls once more. USVs glide through starlit waves. UAVs drift home across glowing skies. UUVs hum quietly in the abyss. Together they form the heartbeat of a new navy, a navy coded, not built. The question is no longer if this future will come, but who will control it. The world stands at the edge of a silent revolution, one that will redefine how wars are fought, how oceans are guarded, and how nations project power. The unmanned fleet is not science fiction anymore. It's a living ecosystem of AI-driven ships, aircraft, and submarines designed to think, adapt, and endure. This is the new face of naval warfare. Precision without fatigue, endurance without emotion. The measure of power is no longer how many ships you have, but how fast your code learns. Yet amid the brilliance, the same question echoes. Are we building tools to protect humanity or machines that might one day surpass it? The answer depends not on algorithms, but on the wisdom of those who command them. Technology can shield us or destroy us. It all depends on the human heart behind the code. At Defense TV, we explore this frontier, where artificial intelligence meets human strategy, where ethics meets innovation, and where the balance of power shifts beneath the waves. Here, every episode decodes the unseen, the technologies shaping tomorrow's warfare, the policies defining military ethics, and the minds designing the fleets of the future. If you want to understand how nations prepare for the wars of tomorrow, wars fought with drones, data, and discipline, then you belong here. Subscribe to Defense TV for world-class analysis, deep reports, and cinematic storytelling about the evolution of defense and technology. Defense TV, decode the battlefield, define the future.